Hello everybody and welcome to The Day I Became a God, season finale, episode 12, anime review. So, you know how I said a sort of average show, I think I said this, an average show can be saved if the ending's really good? Yeah, the inverse is also kinda true. An average show can be made way worse if the ending is a pile of poop and has so many holes in it and doesn't make any logical sense that it annoys you. And yeah, that's that's what we had here. It's stupid. It's a stupid ending. It's like there's so much wrong with this ending. Like I'm sorry. I tried. I really tried with this show. I thought, I think they spent too long. Anyway, we'll get to that when we talk about the show itself. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about the episode, and I'll be doing it for a while because I'm not happy. I'm not a happy camper today. I'm generally seated positive in things, and I will say some things I liked as well about it. There's some good things in there. But a lot of it is not good. It made me hurt a little bit, and it made me hurt and not in a good way, I wasn't hurting because it was, it was so emotionally getting. I was hurting because I was like, oh no, this is just, no, But yeah, I'll talk about the episode, and then we're gonna talk about the series as a whole afterwards. Please, am I an idiot for thinking that this is a bad ending and I'm being really negative on it? I've seen a little bit online, and most people tend to agree with me that it's, not agree with me, I agree with them, I guess, that there's a lot wrong with this ending. I'd like to know what people think in the comments, because I was not happy. I was not happy for this. But anyway, let's get into the episode. We're not going to be immediately negative. The first part of the episode I actually didn't think was too bad. So we'll get to that chronologically. Let's do this thing. So the episode starts sort of picking up the plot point from last week. The nurse needs to speak with Yota and is like, Yota, who the hell are you? And he, doesn't even try to hide what's going on. She says, you need to leave, you don't belong here, go away, which is, yeah, fair enough. And you'll probably never see her again because here's an interesting point, because we're moving to a new facility with better equipment, implying she needs the better equipment. We'll get to this later on and why it's stupid, and everything. He begs, he's like, please, just one last day, let me see out this day. And she's like, fine, which, okay. He begged, he's not done anything wrong, technically. Yes, he shouted a few times like an idiot. Like, it's amazing how much he would keep making the same mistake. But he tells Hina it's his last day and everything, and, asks Hina again if she wants to live with him. Doesn't really get a response. However, he talks about the summer they spent together and everything. She says Sora and starts remembering everybody's name. Still smacks the Yota card away, though. And then he shouted, and he gets escorted out because he shouted and scared her again. Yota, idiot. And then he starts being a brat. He's like, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And which, I know I'm being a bit harsh at this point. I actually thought this was alright because, he's desperate. He thought he was onto something and it got snatched away from him just like that, He gets knocked out for being a brat, though. So, fair enough, I guess. I actually didn't think this was too bad, I don't agree with him. I think he's being an idiot, but I get it. He's desperate, and it makes sense at this point. They all go to bid him farewell at the gate. The nurse has brought Hina out there, and then it's like very sad. He's like looking back, like bye, and he's like bye, and Hina's not reacting, and Hina does react. She's looking at the card and is like, it's not here, it's not here. The Yoha card. She can't say Yota, so she says Yoha. She then manages to stand miraculously and walk towards Yota, and Yota runs back, and she's like Daisuke, and they catch each other. It's a big hug. There's a sun setting. It's very dramatic. Okay, I'm okay with this. Is it a bit weird that she can suddenly walk that semi-great distance? Yes. But you could play that one out as, oh, it's like a miracle. She's using every ounce of her strength to get to Yota. You could play it off like that, and that's fine, As I said, this first, half or so of the episode, I don't really have a problem with. I generally, there are little things, but it's not too bad. There's lots of tears and love yous, and it's very, there's hugs and everything. And then the nurse is like, stops the guy, she's chosen for herself what will make her happy, and I'm just like, okay, but surely you've got to make some arrangements. You were going to a facility with better equipment or whatever. surely you're gonna just organize something where Yota will be able to visit a lot, right? Maybe that's what you're gonna do. You're not gonna do something stupid like let him take her away from the medical professionals, right? You wouldn't do that, would you? That would be insane and doesn't make any logical sense. Why would you do that? Are you gonna do that? No, they wouldn't, would they? Except they would do that. So Yota returns home with Hina on his back. It's like, I brought her home and everyone else is there. By the way, she's suddenly not scared of men, I guess, because, the dad and then later on Ashura, no negative reaction to them. I guess you could say she's remembered properly now. But still, that's too convenient, and no, she would have remembered Yota first. It's silly. They meet up with everyone, and everyone's like, hey, Hina, they get her nun clothes and force her to wear them. Yes, she looks happy, but it's still a bit like, oh no, why are you dressing her up like a doll? Then they go and play basketball, like in the first episode, which is a nice callback, but at the same time, she's meant to be, she was in, she wasn't able to move properly the previous episodes. Why is she suddenly able to stand up for extended periods of time, move for extended periods of time, play basketball to the point where she can actually hit a basket? Like, I'm perfectly mobile, I'm pretty unfit, but I can move, and I struggle to get a basket get a basket. Why is she suddenly able to? I guess you could say it took her a few tries, but no, it doesn't make sense. It's stupid. No. They go through like all this stuff was the stuff she wanted to do in the summer. She was cramming it in because obviously she couldn't move before. Again, I'm okay with that. That makes sense. She did what she couldn't do. It would make more sense if, she wasn't able to do it again now. So it's like that's how important that summer was. But no, she can play basketball. Presumably she'll be able to play all those things again, apparently, in about a week by the pace we're going to. Gets her nun cloak, as I said. It's... I'm annoyed at this part. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really this whole, like, from here on, I was questioning a lot of things. Let's just go with that. And then of course they resume filming because that's what I get what they're going for. The whole, hey, we got to finish what we weren't able to finish in the summer. Because we got Hina back finally. But Hina is a disabled kid now. I don't want to be that guy, but it's just like, you are basically forcing her. She's not aware of what's going on. You can see she isn't, and you're forcing her to stand up, walk, which she shouldn't be able to do in the first place, walk so much, because of how her disease has been described. There's no coming back from it, it's no cure, there's nothing they can do about it. But am I the only one missing something? Yes, you could say, oh, they exercise to build up her stamina or whatever. You could say that. But this couldn't have been long, How long was she at the facility and she could barely move? You're telling me like it's been like a week or two since she got back and she can suddenly walk fairly fine? You can say she was stumbling, yes, but for the most part she was stood up and walking fine. I don't like it. She gets there eventually and they finish filming the movie, yada yada yada. Later on, Yota and Hina are looking on the lit city, and then we learn, oh, it was love. When they were talking about love before, I thought it was just like, oh, like family or good friends, but no, it was meant to be a love story. Which is what, like, you can point out the age difference, but that's not even the biggest fish to fry here. Like, I'm not going to say, like, hey, you're not allowed to love disabled people, because that's wrong. But, I mean, she doesn't need that right now, it come across as creepy, It didn't, I think it was meant to be sweet, but I didn't get any sweet. I was like, that's kind of weird, man. Not because there's anything wrong with Hina, but because it's like, it didn't hit me right, I think they were hitting for, it's like, oh, he's staying with her, he loves her even though she's not the same. But that's not how it came across at all. Like, that's not how it came across, and I'm not going to argue with that. That's not how it came across at all. It came across as kind of weird. Like, mentally, she's like a child. You can say, like, she's younger than she is. It didn't hit me right, It didn't. And I've sat through some crap, and it made me uncomfortable. That's the only way to put it. And I know that was not the intention. They're here because they chose each other, yeah, except she needs medical help, and, presumably, yes, you can take her to the hospital every so often, but she was in the facility, Was she only there because she didn't have anyone to take care of her? Like, is that what it is? Like, was that ever said? No, I don't think it was. If it was, they should have said it. There's some lewd hand-holding. Yota is all like, I want to become a researcher like your grandpa to, so that I can help you. That was alright, but I like that Yota, it's established he didn't have a goal before, and now, he's got a goal. But really, all this series was made us feel bad for Hina a little bit, but in the end of it, it was just, oh, here's so Yota knows what he's going to do with his life now. We had to play. I feel like they manipulated my emotions. I don't feel. I came out of this feeling angry, not sad, angry, and that's not good. It's like I was drifting through life, and now that I have you, I have a purpose, and it's like I don't like that. She comes across as less as a character like that, and more of just like a plot device for Yota to grow. And it's it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks that Hina got reduced. I was never a fan of Hina, by the way. When she was, active, I thought she was annoying at points. But this is just what she's been reduced to, and not because of her illness, because of just how she's being used as a character. It's just, it hurts a little bit, It's just, okay. Anyway, final section, let's go. They all finish filming the movie, as I said, and which is good. Yota is changing the college he's going to go to one with a more specialized course, I guess makes sense. Then they have a movie screening, and Yota and Hina are like cuddling like a couple, and it's like, oh, stop, it's cringe. And I hate using the word cringe, but that's the only word for it. It was proper, like, oh, oh, don't. There's the movie, good special effects there. Whoever did special effects, you did good. But then, it's weird seeing, old Hina with long hair, and it's kind of weird, but then, they go through the story, and it's like, oh, I see, it's mirroring Yota and Hina's story. He came back to get her regardless of, the world ended in the movie, but he's still going to get her. And it's just like, I get it, but it's meant to mirror, and I don't think you want your show to mirror an in-universe show that's written by a 15-year-old with no experience, because that's how it comes across with how this ending played out. No. It was stupid. The comparison is actually quite apropos. How did we get this? This feels like a massive step down from the others. Like, you can say what you want about like Charlotte and all that, but I feel like they hit me more than this one did. They didn't make me uncomfortable. We'll go with that at least. Like Charlotte's ending at least. Like, it's the most far-fetched thing ever, right? If you've seen Charlotte, you know what I mean, the last episode. But at least it's fun. At least it's kind of fun, with it. It's so bonkers ridiculous and unbelievable that it's a little bit fun. This isn't fun. This is unbelievable because there's so many little to big things that don't quite make sense, and none of it is fun. They're not trying to play this in a fun way. It's because you can't with what you're doing. It's there's a behind the scenes scene with Hina at the end of the movie where she talks about how, oh, these memories are great, they're my treasure and everything, and it's like lovely. He's like, whatever the future brings, I'll live with Hina forever. And it's like, okay, I'm kind of glad. I mean, am I glad or am I disappointed that they didn't do like an epilogue scene where it's like in the future and Yota's cured her? Would that have been an easy out? Yes. Would it have saved the ending? I don't know. It probably would have made it worse, because it would have been like, oh, okay, and they all lived happily ever after, But I mean, it would have been nice, I guess. I mean, as I said, I'm very down on this ending. I'm not happy with it. That was where we ended, obviously, just them swearing to spend time together. Also, Hina fell asleep during the movie, which I think is, appropriate for all of us who sat through this ending. Because, I mean, I know falling asleep isn't the right word, because that would imply it's boring. It wasn't boring, it was just frustrating. I hope people agree with me here. I'm not going to get a lot of people being like, how dare you, this was a cinematic masterpiece, because I just didn't get it. It didn't hit me right. It hit me... I didn't hate the show, though. I didn't completely hate everything about the ending. I've said a few things I liked, but, it didn't work. They also, like, tried to play in the movie, like, Hina, you're the heroine, you're the main character, and, also almost like, because, it's mirroring, that's meant to believe, oh, Hina's the main character of this story. But no, she's not. She's a plot device for Yota to figure out what he wants to do with life, and that's just... That was the end of the episode. As I said, horrible finale. Horrible. I can't justify it. It's a bad finale. They could have made it alright. All they really had to do was have a little bit more common sense, right? Just have it so like, okay, Hina will be moved to a facility close to your home so you can visit a lot. Boom, you know? That solves half your problems, you know. She can go out for a certain amount of time every day, not, oh yeah, you know, she's with, and also don't make it like romantic love. Make it like close friends, you know, family time kind of love. Then I think you make it all right. You can fix this ending or make it better quite easily, I think. And I think it's weird the way they chose to do it when it is so easy to fix. But for right now, what was my favorite part of this episode? I thought about just leaving the favorite part out this time because, like I said, I'm annoyed. But no, as I said, the first half had some alright bits. So let's get to that. So my favorite part was the scene in the snow where they hug each other. As I said, you could, if she was only moving for that one part, you could frame it as, oh, she's using every ounce of her strength to get to him, and it's very nice, you know, that's how much he means to her. Of course, if I'm taking that in isolation, this hugging bit, because obviously everything that came after sort of negated that fact, because she was up and at him constantly, you know. But yeah, no, that I actually did like. I thought that got me a little bit. It was like, oh yes, look at them hugging. It was all right, but everything else kind of sucked. Everything after that is where things I think started to fall apart for me. But yeah, finale horrible. I almost can't imagine a worse finale. Like, she could have died and that would have been a better finale. Like, genuinely. Like, yeah, I'm not a fan of the finale. The series itself, though, I'll talk about briefly. I'm not completely down on the whole series. Like, the finale really does pull the steam out of you. And honestly, I mean, I'm saying, you know, it's not terrible now. Like, I think they spent too long with side characters, and then the side characters weren't important enough later on. Like, I would have loved to see more of Suzuki, like Hiroto, and like him doing more. He didn't even show up. You thought they would have shown like an epilogue, like what he's up to now. I feel like you could have done interesting things with him. But, you know, again, he was just a pawn to get, you know, to this ending. You know, everything before the final few episodes kind of doesn't matter, is how it kind of feels, which kind of sucks. Obviously, what those episodes were for is like, hey, look, here's Hina having a good fun time. Look how active and she is, just to, you know, so when you get to the end, it's like, oh man, look at Hina. She's nothing like we remember. You know, that's obviously that's basically the purpose of the first 8-9 episodes, whatever it was. You know, it's weird that I am so down on this show at the end, because at the start I was like, okay, this could be better, but it's fine. And then in the middle I started kind of getting into it a little bit. And then, like, honestly, up until this week, I was feeling it. I was like, yeah, okay, this could end well. This could be all right. It's gone a weird, different place, and not everyone's going to agree with it, but it could be all right. And then it just falls flat on its face because it doesn't make sense. You know, common sense is thrown out the window. Would I recommend this series? No. Would I? I don't know. I mean, if I was to recommend this, it would only be after, like, Clannad, after Angel Beats, after Charlotte, you know, after I haven't even read or watched the others, like the other, you know, other key anime like Canon and Air, and I think there's more. Little Busters, I think, is one. But I'm willing to bet I would recommend them over this. Man, I didn't expect to be so down on this. Like, now that I'm actually voicing everything out loud. I watched this last night. I went to bed pissed off with it. Like, I was really annoyed. But yeah, I think that's what I would sum up. The visuals were good. The visuals and the sound was really good. There's some more positives. Characters, no one's important other than, you know, Yota and Hina, and even then Hina is just a plot device for Yota. You know, you could say like, oh, they're all the friends, they all had fun together, but really that could have been anyone. Their individual characters do not matter. Like, it could have just been the friends, and then that's fair. That's fun. That's, you know, that would have been enough. But I don't like that they turned it into a love story. They tried to play it as that was. No, if you remove that and have it just be like friendly, family, whatever, then I think you could have done it. You could have done a similar thing. Just take out the love story part. Maybe they just did it because they've all been love stories so far. You know, in the end, even when it doesn't really need to be. You know, I don't think Charlotte needed to be. Angel Beats, fair enough. You know, Angel Beats is fair enough. Cloud also, yeah, that worked. But yeah, I don't know. You know, I hope everyone. I'm not conflicted. Like, I'm definitely more negative towards this show now. But it it could still be worth a watch. I'm sure some people absolutely loved it and thought it was really good. Because it is a happy ending, so to speak, but it's a happy ending that avoids too much logic in my book. You could have done the happy ending while still making sense. You know, that's all I'm gonna say on it. I think I'm done. I'm glad I watched it. Yeah, I guess I'm glad I watched it. I'm not, you know, I don't feel like I wasted my time, so to speak. I had some fun watching it. It was a journey going on it. Even if the journey, you know, crashed into the side of the road at the end. But it was a journey nonetheless. But anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you disagree with me, please let me know without swearing at me. You can just be like, I disagree, here's what I think. Be polite, that's a good thing. If you do agree with me, you know, thank you, because I don't know what the general consensus is. I'm just giving, I'd like to not check too much what everyone else is saying, because I don't want it to influence my thoughts, you know, when I give my opinion. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments and stuff. At some point I'll put up a video saying what reviews I'm going to be doing for January season, when at some point I haven't actually worked it all out yet, but that'll be up soon. But for right now, I'll see you next time, so take care, and bye guys.